better AD carry options. But River has been banned away here by Nova, which means that Cerberus Esports had to go and find a different AD carry. They would be drafting a very solid mid laner though in the Vladimir. Have to remember that BMM is so good at this champion as well.
Yeah, it's really good. That, you know what does far CES once again is drafting, quite honestly, very admirable, right? Aatrox, Vladimir, Nautilus. This is huge picks coming into the side of CES, and yes, having a Seaver coming into this specific draft would be perfect, but it was banned away by the side of Nova. For the side of Nova though, they lock in onto Ezreal, Gragas, and Kassadin. This means that they will now target onto the ADCs of CES.
That's one way to look at it. And I'm still trying to grasp as to what will be the jungle for long this time around. That Irelia, it was saved definitely by his teammates. It wasn't the best pick, I guarantee you that, right? But they made it work. That's what's important. So I'm still trying to grasp for Straws here, Infinity, thinking what would be the pickup for long here. Possibly, I don't know. I want him to go for the Riven. Actually, I want him to go for the Riven. Yeah, a Riven versus Aatrox matchup, even in the jungle, should favor the Riven.
We'll see if Nova locks this in, because right now there are a lot of options. Kha'Zix was removed though for long, and that will be something of an unfortunate moment. But once again, a hover on Xin Zhao. They hovered this a while ago, but Lee Sin, I love this quite significantly more. A while ago, they doubled down onto these late game scaling
Hecarim is
champions, open, but Hecarim is open as well.
Yeah, that we missed.
Yeah,
they'll go for Jax first. 4 out of the 5 champions Nova did play earlier will still be locked in. It's the hyper scaling composition that will win in the late game. So they're saying Cerberus Esports, even if you win the early game, it's not going to be enough. And now Cerberus Esports is now going to be doubled down, and they will be putting the Aatrox on the top side.
Aatrox going to the top side. It was something that, you know what, Nova was sneaking in. They're going to hover Hecarim. We're going to give you information, and we're gonna give you information that it's open. It could be picked up here, but that's really interesting, right? That's really interesting. CES will pick up the Hecarim instead, and that will mean that they want something for an early game lead, and Lucian will be something that could give them that early game power spike.
Yeah, Lucian plus Nautilus still very deadly. Oh, I missed this. Okay, now we're talking. This is Lee Sin off long, and we've seen him dominate with this pickup last season. And not just last season, you know, every time that we see Long on the Lee Sin, it's always going to be a highlight waiting to happen. So yeah, are you ready?
I'm ready. I mean, highlight reel. I was just hoping for, you know what, a Lee Sin and then a Yasuo as well. No, I'm kidding.
That's asking too much. But yeah, if anything, Neon is also a very good Yasuo player, so you may be onto something here, Infinity. But yeah, just going back, this is Long finding or going for the, I would say, carry show, and let's hope for the best that Cerberus Esports will be able to channel through whatever they were, you know, doing correctly the last time out, because in game number 1, it was definitely winnable for them.
Yeah, it was. It definitely was. But right now, CES understands, right? When it comes to these early game, we want to take it. Because Long, when it comes to that late game, give him any champion that's currently available in League of Legends Wild Rift. Coming into that late game, Nova Esports knows how to play with. And I think that is one thing that CS wants to really utilize. They lock in onto the likes of Lucian, Nautilus, Hecarim. So when it comes to that early game into the bottom lane, they have a lead. In level 5, they have a massive teamfight prowess and engage tool with their champions available.
A win lane, stabilize the lane, and it doesn't matter if you have you know, a weaker early game as a team. Just as long as you can stand toe to toe when it comes to the laning phase. And not to mention that we also are seeing the Kassadin being picked up as a counter pick to the Vladimir. How many times have we seen this, right? Like it's pretty much documented at this point that professional teams has really figured out the Vladimir. That one way to control is to have the Kassadin, and this Kassadin already had a warm-up the prior game, right? The Kassadin was able to get a win in game number 1 without even, having the counter pick, or without even it being a counter pick to a Vladimir or to other picks in the mid lane. Again, so far, so good for both squads.
Yeah, and the thing is, even if Kassadin's removed and ran away, there's still Zoe that Nova could pick up, right? And it still fits Nova Esports' draft. They have Yami already into the front line. They have Jack. They have the likes of Lee Sin as well. So extra damage is not that bad for the side of Nova's draft. But overall, laning phase, this will be a little bit quiet coming into these first minute and a half. But Lee Sin, when that reaches level 3 and level 5, that will be something that we have to take our eyes onto.
What I'm curious is the top side, right? Like Jax versus Aatrox. I feel that Taku would have enough damage because if anything, he cannot counter-strike the Darkin Blades, right? Like whenever he goes for the Darkin Blade 1, 2, and 3, counter-strike. He got hit by the tower. And you know the number 1 rule, right? When it comes to laning phase, do not get hit by the tower.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Yeah, he was taken hit by a turret, so he has to force out the 100 Fruit coming on the top side of the map. And now Long, we mentioned this, level 5.
A kick may just happen here, but Itza don't think he has enough damage in him. And they will be respecting any potential counter ganks. They had no information as to where the Hecarim is, and that's why they did not push through with that gank.
Yeah, Akino visiting as well onto the mid lane already. And that's a good thing, right? Because CES understands that Long already reached level 5, so expected... Oh, that Sonic Wave. Missed out the opportunity. But they understood that, you know what? Level 5 is Long's time to go and visit lanes. And we want that safety net coming into mid lane.
Just going back to that play in the mid lane, how crazy would it have been had Long, pressed the smite button to make sure that the Sonic Wave connected?
Flash kick! Dragon's Rage! Genza is stuck! Ignited as well! Is that enough though? As Y1 came through! The turnaround by CES this early game is what they wanted, and that they did have! And that is a double kill for Cerberus.
Unfortunate turn of events once again for Nova. They did not push through with a gank on the top side because they had no prior information. And Long, this is an overstep, right? Like what he did, what he wanted is to kick Genza close to Yami and Remig, but his kick wasn't picture perfect, and now action continues.
And Ataku going to the flank as well, no escape for Yitza, and CES takes their 3rd kill of the game.
3-0. Early game start for Cerberus Esports. I think I've seen this. This is the same script from what happened in game number 1. Although this is a lot better, right? If you look at the gold advantage that they were able to get. And plus their lineup is not that, I would say, too heavy reliant on the early game. They do have the Vladimir that is still very scary come team fights, and plus the combination of Hecarim and Aatrox can do massive amount of choke point damage. It will really surprise you as to how many AoE damage can both these champions does have.
Yeah, and the thing is, right, coming into this early game, it's much better for CES to take this huge lead into their game, considering that Long is now on a Lee Sin. There's an argument that it's Nova that has to get the early game, but thus far, CES, there's no value being given away to Nova Esports this time around.
The highlight is not happening yet for Mr. Long, and it's all about the long game for Long. Again.
See what you did there. Yeah.
Right?
Is that the definition of Long's name? Like, long game?
Long game. Once it reaches the long game, then Long will have plenty more opportunity to actually win the game. You look at the item disparity, Black Weaver already completed for the Hecarim. Meanwhile, on the other side, just, I would say, assorted items overall for Long, and this is not the way you want to start, especially as the Lee Sin.
Yeah, it's just a lot of advantage right now for CES with their jungler, with Y1 already getting a huge lead, and right now getting that Ocean Drake up for CES. This is what they did in the past, right? Getting the 2 Drakes already. Yes, they did not get the soul, but They want this advantage. They want to ramp up.
They had it been that they remained patient and just went for the 50-50 against Long in game number 1, it could have just been a lot easier for them to secure G1. And so now Cerberus Esports would have the perfect opportunity to at least have another go for what we call is a triple break win condition or the Dragon Soul win condition. Hopefully this time they will not falter and that they will not, they will not overstep their boundaries on the top side and that they will focus on the third dragon rather than the Baron. Hopefully, right?
Hopefully. But we'll see as Shelly is now spawned into the mid lane. Akino a bit overstepped
Remake
against Remake with the depth charge already there and Long. Good body block with the Dragon's Rage just to deny that engage from Genza. And overall, Nova gets the tower first blood.
Yeah, and I think it was not needed, and Long is being pressured by the Hecarim right now, right? Like, Y1 knows that he doesn't have the Dragon's Rage, and so he can be ultra aggressive. Not to mention that Akeno is actually there. There is also the wild card of lots of pushes available in this game, right? Because that's the ocean map, and when it comes to the ocean map, it's one of those maps that will really make it hard for you.
Yeah, me and Neon pays a visit on top side with explosive cast.
Wow.
No escape for Vladimir as Nova secures their first kill of the game.
They make it look easy, and now Nova Esports was at least able to stabilize and come back and slow the stop the bleeding in general. Because you look at the gold beat, it's basically gone now, and this is in consideration that Cerberus Esports had the very good advantage in the early stages of this game. So again, for Nova, it's all about the long game.
Yeah, put a bandage on the bleeding, right?
Right.
Stop it. Does that make sense?
Yep. It does. It does. Congratulations, you're now improving.
Yeah,
3-man strong.
Taku now being targeted. He doesn't know there are 3 men looking to kill him. Now Y1 pays a visit, but it's just too late. Long just goes in. That will be a security onto Aatrox. Now Y1 is in danger. Onslaught of Shadows brings that fear onto Long. But right now, a 3v1 BMM secures that trade. It's a 2-4-2.
Akeno might just be able to catch them off guard here. He's too tanky.
Akino now goes for the CC. The depth charge connects onto 2 as well. It's just 2 damage. Transfusion onto Itse. Once again, another trade back. But Neon coming in with a Rift Walk. Silence misses it out, but BMM still wants to go for this fight. But in the end, Nova doesn't want to prolong the injury, and CES had a massive great response.
Yeah, it's a 3-4-3, and I thought that it ended up in the benefit of Cerberus Esports because that really looked so bad for Cerberus Esports. You look at display coming in from Long, getting that return kill, but DMM was a hero in this game, right? He flashed in, used the Sanguine Pool, Tides of Blood, Team Up, like every AoE damage still needs to be respected, and in the live, Long is actually down.
Explosive cast as well to try and disengage, but it's not enough. And CES will take out the jungler of Nova Esports, which was a signal for them to retreat.
Yeah, there's no objective to really take down. That means that it's not that
onto
bad.
The shadows, onto Remake along with a smite as well to slow him down. And Taku just went in with a finishing blow on the skate, diving under the turret.
Yeah, this is the thing about Hecarim, right? He will still have enough HP in him, enough defenses to make sure that those aggressive dives onto towers will result for him still surviving. And now, if you're Cerberus Esports, how do you translate it into another objective? There is no dragon yet to be taken. Akeno by himself, though.
Akeno being pinned out. Nova Esports.
Wait, he's by himself!
It's just too much confidence. Akeno gave a free kill to Nova Esports on a silver platter.
What was he doing, my friend? Oh, man. Definitely a miscommunication on the side of Cerberus Esports. And just when you thought that Cerberus Esports had everything within their, how should we call this? Recipe for success, right? Like you follow a step-by-step, and this is basically the algorithm to win this game. There will be a very timely mistake that will favor Nova Esports, and now Nova Esports is in the position to go for this dragon.
Yeah, starting on the Infernal Drake as well. They have information calling already used. Onside of Shadows, Nova Esports will secure the Infernal Drake. Now Yitze in the Dragon's Pit as Aatrox falls down. It's a 5v4 situation. Lucian goes down. It will be Nova Esports. It's time to answer back. CES, every single one getting annihilated. And Y1 just has to retreat with a Ripper on hand. He has to go back into his own jungle because Nova Esports is knocking on their door.
Perfect team fighting from Nova Esports. The ins, the outs, them making sure that BMM, although he had a very impactful team fight there, he was pinned down by all the crowd control, and Neon there to be the counter to the Vladimir is just so good for the chances of Nova Esports. Not to mention that Long, by the way, he cannot just to win a 50-50 against Long, right? That's basically the reason why Long is regarded as one of the best junglers that we have in the world right now. Because when it comes to 50-50s, he knows what to do. He backpedaled. He used the Sonic Wave to attach or to get the first skill on towards the dragon, and then once it's time to execute the dragon, he combined the damage of the Resonating Strike and the Smite, and that's, you know, a quality of a very good jungler.
A quality of an Icons champion as well. This is the team that went into Icons Global and won it all. And they still have it in the bag. It's just so strong right now for Nova Esports up against CES. Y1 has sights on them. Yami goes in with a body slam. Good utilization of the Onslaught of Shadows to retreat back into safety. But 2 ultimates already out.
Crucial Barrage is going to hit just one. And Akeno really wants to correct that massive mistake that he did the earlier stages of this game, and he's wanting to really get a piece of Remake, but Remake is still very mobile right now. Now you look at the map, everyone is concentrating their efforts around this Baron Pit. Meanwhile, Neon on the Kassadin free farming.
Yeah, Neon on the Kassadin already at level 12. It will be Aatrox who gets the pull back onto Yami. World Ender used up by Yami already, but the thing is, it is Akeno who falls down. And CES now being pincered in their own jungle. Long with a Sonic Wave gets access onto Y1, and Y1 just has to say goodbye in the Rift, and Nova Esports landslide CES.
That's a choke point. You don't want to really be caught out of position in that area, because every single one of all the AoE skills that Nova Esports had would hit one after another. Let's look at that choke point. You don't want to fight here, right? You want to run away towards the other side, towards Yitze, or towards towards BMM, because BMM, he cannot help at this point. Yeah, he will be able to cast his Tides of Blood, but I don't think he had Flash, but he flashed in a little bit too late. All his compatriots is already down for the count, and now with that advantage that Nova was able to get, with the Baron buff, they can just take down multiple towers here and route to a 2-0.
Yeah, Baron buff is massive currently for Nova Esports, and their damage is stacking. Yami forced out the flash already with a body slam, will not connect BMM. They still retreat back to safety, but looking on top side, Long once again. Looking for perspectives, looking for kills. Y1 wants to get a trade back into the bottom lane. As Yitze will battle it out. Counter-Strike connects onto 2. Y1 is in danger. Has to use up the Onslaught of Shadows to go back under the turret. But Akeno is stuck in the grasp of Nova Esports as he falls.
It's a 4-1 split push. And the jungler is the one split pushing for Nova Esports. We've seen this strategy before. It's always effective when you have the Lee Sin. Now Yitze will be able to take down this tower in the bot lane, mid lane, and top lane. Next on the menu for Nova.
Now Neon pushing onto the mid, Long pushing on top side, every single inhib turrets, and now being targeted by Nova Esports. Nexus is the only one left, and CES has one fighting chance to take it back.
3 inhibitor towers. And I just don't think that Cerberus Esports will have any retaliation available to them. Like, Nova Esports just swung the game in their favor pretty heavily in just a span of, what, 3 minutes? From the moment that Akeno went down, everything went downhill to the side of Cerberus Esports, and now Nova is enjoying a sizable lead. That's already 10k at 14 minutes.
It's huge, right? A while ago it was CES. We mentioned this, like, coming into the early game. CES got, what, 2k gold lead in a couple of minutes in, but Nova Esports always find an answer back. Neon and Yitze finds Lucian. CES lost their ADC, a huge chunk of damage. And this could be the signal for Nova to end this game. Akino now being targeted as well as Yeats and Neon, and Yami pounces him out. And Yeats coming into the front line with a counter strike, hoping to get those stuns in. But CES just too mobile coming through, and thus far, Nova Esports removed 2 members of CES.
Yeah, Nova Esports will definitely want to finish this BMM.
The MM comes in, Sanguine pull to just retreat, but is that even enough? As Law just came through into the back, and now Y1 and Taku, the only ones remaining to fight up against Nova Esports. We've stated this, that they only have one fighting chance to take it back. Nova Esports is not giving it, and they will secure the series up against Cerberus.
You cannot make very obvious mistakes against CN teams, against Nova Esports no less. This is the world champions that we are talking about, and just with that 2-0, they improved their record 6 wins to 5 losses, and it improves the chances of Nova Esports in securing the playoff spot, which basically is the objective for them, right? There are a lot of teams in the CN conference that wants to be part of the top 8, and so far